Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Georgette Truan. I am the co host for Relatives Fight CPS, and I also work for the law office of attorney Vincent Davis. And my guest tonight is Peggy, and she is a grandmother. She's beautiful grandmother, as a matter of fact.
Thank
Um,
you.
and, um, we're going to hear her story and see what else CPS is doing with other people. So sad. Go ahead, Peggy. Go ahead and share your story with us, baby girl.
Okay. It's really hard because to go back over it, I wanted to go over it, before I came on here, and
Yeah,
it's so hard to read the things over and over,
yeah.
having to go through it. It's reliving it all over again.
I know. It's reliving it. I know it's hard. It's hard to relive pain.
Yes.
And
And
they
read it.
expect you to be dormant. They expect you to be without any feelings, without any emotions. And if you show a sign of weakness, of tears, you know, they actually label you as unfit because you.
Yes. Yes. They made a comment. They sent me an email one time when after I had visited the kids, my grandson had started just crying when
Yeah,
we were time for us to leave him. And then I started crying, of course, because it was right after this one thing. And they wrote me and said, "You need to not cry in front of them. And he thinks you're hurt when you're crying. When you're crying to him, it means you're hurt," or something
yeah,
like that. It was ridiculous,
exactly.
absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, um, it's ours started January 2018. The kids basically lived with us. We were basically raising them. They were 1 and 2 at this time, and they came back from their moms, and I had found bruises, and I wasn't sure, and my husband's like, "No, that is," I said, "Maybe he fell. Maybe," I just couldn't fathom that that could happen. Anyway, I had no experience with DHS. I had never had them in my life. I've never talked about them. I've never heard about them, you know, nothing. So I thought, oh, well, I'll call and see, what they think. And,
Right.
if they think it's something, then. So I called, and a few hours later, 2 caseworkers and an officer came out to the house, and they took pictures. And I said, "What did I do the right thing? I don't know." And "Oh yeah, yeah, you did the right thing. This needs to be taken care of or something." And so anyway, it all started there. Um, they did the 14-day or 10-day investigation on her, the mother, who
Hmm.
is not my daughter. Um, and they said at the end of that, they were giving them back to her. And so I had to bring him to the DHS office, and um, I had to give him back to her. And then with a safety, she had a safety service provider also at that time, but she got to pick who it was. And I know I haven't said anything about her, but she picked a homeless guy that was living with her at the time. So he was her safety service provider. I went over there probably every night, brought him pizza, and a couple days went by, and I got a call from the mother. She said, "DHS told me to call you and tell you to come pick up the kids." I said, "What is going on?" She goes, "Well, I don't know. I don't know." Anyway, I found out the guy had called in because she was punching walls. She had people coming and going all times the day and night, just constantly traffic in her apartment. And I guess he also reported that she was yelling at the kids and that she had tried to punch him. And so I went and picked up the kids. And as I was doing that, the caseworker was talking to her outside and said, "If we did a drug test, would you test positive for more than marijuana?" And she had said yes. And at that time, I turned around and walked away. So we had the kids from January to August. The kids get a guardian ad litem,
Oh,
apparently.
that's the worst. Yeah, they're just as they're scumbags. Yeah, yeah.
Well, the first one we got, we knew it's a small town. We live in a small town, so we knew him. I mean, we knew of him, like high school. He went to the same school as we did. He was very nice. Came to our house a couple of times. I always got audio of the court hearings because I don't remember what is said when I'm in there because I'm so
Right,
nervous.
right.
So I heard him tell the judge how lucky the kids were to have us. how we had a dedicated play area for them. We never saw him again. He was that
Because he
guardian.
wasn't doing the right thing by setting you guys up to fail. See,
So the
that's
next,
why they changed them, right?
so the next one we got, he came to our home, and I had forgotten about his appointment.
Mm.
And our house is ranch style, so it's one level, but it's large. And I didn't hear him knocking at the front door because nobody uses our front door. We use our sliding glass door. And then I heard him, and I came to the door, and I apologized. I said, "I'm so sorry. I forgot about your appointment. We don't use this door, so I didn't hear you." Anyway, he came in. He was quiet. I said, "Let me update you on why we're all here." Anyway, it turns out in court, he gets up first, and he totally lied. Totally lied. He said he was at our front door for probably 10 minutes. He could hear things going on inside, but he didn't know what it was. That our house was a house in crisis. That we were trying to interfere with the reunification of the mother and the children, which is nothing that I don't know if crisis is kids running around, and I don't know. He was weird. So they took the kids in less than 24 hours from us and gave them back to their mother, who abused them, who was just out of rehab in a transitional home, 10
Oh,
hours away. The kids had never been away from me. They called me mom. So they came the next morning. This is really hard. And we loaded the kids in that van. And my grandson was saying, "Mom, get in. Mom, get in." And all we could do was tell them we loved them. And they were both screaming, and they drove away. They cut all communication between us and the kids. They wouldn't tell us where she was. They were hiding them. And
are
I
you
was,
sure the kids is with her though? Are you
yeah.
sure? That's something
Well,
I want you to think they're with her.
well, this is another thing. That day that they came to take them, she had posted a picture on Facebook of herself. I showed them the picture. I showed the caseworker. I said, "Look at this picture." I said, "She's using again. Look at the
Right.
picture." That picture went missing off of her Facebook page 2 hours later, but I had already screenshotted it. So after the kids were gone and we were all devastated, I started investigating myself because I thought, you know what? This isn't right. She's getting things that aren't, what do you call it, protocol. She was getting
Yeah.
a lot of favors and things that just weren't, it was just weird. So I thought, you know what? Child abuse is a crime. Why was
It
she not,
is.
why was
It
she
is.
not charged? And
Yeah.
I went to the police station and I talked to the captain. He referred me to the DA. He said the DA is the only one who can open the case, reopen it.
District
So,
attorneys are scumbags. Okay.
so I
Scumbags. Yeah.
called and called and called and called. Finally, the assistant DA called me. I said, "I don't want to talk to you." I said, "I wanted to talk to the DA." And he said, "Well, I'm the one who reviewed the case or whatever." And he said, "Because your grandson was playing outside when the officer showed up, didn't show that he was in pain at the time. He also wasn't very verbal, so he couldn't verbalize to them what happened. So
Mm.
they just threw it out. There was nothing."
Oh my
I said,
God.
"Well, can I press charges on his behalf?" And they said, "No, no." And they said, "Unfortunately, that's the law, la, la, la." So,
Law. Mm.
uh, yeah, that because he couldn't talk and all this. And I was thinking, you know what? Dogs can't talk, and animal abuse is against the law, and people go to jail for it all the time.
Mhm.
Why? I did say that to the DA. I wrote him a letter and I said, "Look, this isn't right. What are you doing? When you screw up, these kids are the ones who suffer." And anyway, come to find out, October, our son got a call that the kids were in foster care.
I knew
And
it. Yep. I knew it.
well, they said that she got kicked out. I didn't find this out till later, but she had gotten kicked out of the transitional house. They
Mhm.
moved her to closer to us, 2 hours away. And apparently, it's in discovery. It says that they knew she was using again, but they had moved her to a homeless shelter
Mhm.
in closer. And they knew she was using again, but they were asking the shelter to keep her so she wouldn't lose her place in line for housing. I'm like, what? So anyway, then supposedly she calls in and says, I can't parent right now. I'm just not in a good place. So they put him in foster care. They said our number wasn't on their desk. They couldn't call us. That's what the supervisor said. Your number wasn't on our desk. We couldn't call you. Well, I found in my notes, I had talked to the supervisor that same day. That day that they had the kids, I talked to her. Anyway, so they were
I
in
want to. May
okay.
I cut you off for a minute, just for a brief minute? When you mentioned that they left the children with her, what I was about to tell you is they did that intentionally because they know she hasn't stopped using. They want to remove the children from her, not from the good home that the
Mhm.
kids were in, which is the grandma. They wanted to remove the kids from her because they want to ensure the funding.
Yes.
That's why they took the kids from you, give the kids to her, knowing she's gonna relapse.
Fail. She's going to fail.
She's gonna fail.
You're never
They
going to get
know
them
that
back.
it's
Yes.
all done. It's all done.
Yes.
Stress, like strategy in their demonic head to
Yes.
get what they want, which is the funding. Not so much the child was screaming and crying for his grandma, right? All
Hmm.
they know. That's their safe place.
Yeah.
They took that child from their
Mm.
safe place, put them in a drug user place that knows
Mhm.
that she's going to fail. And
Yes.
then in return, they're going to put the child into a foster home instead of returning the child back to the grandma. The
That's
law states
exactly.
family first, family placement first.
Right.
So what they did, they set rules up in place to violate your constitutional rights.
I had no idea at the time, but
Yeah, you don't. You
it's
don't.
been a long time now, and I know now that they gave him back to her because they knew she was going to fail.
Yeah,
They knew.
yeah, they know.
And get
They
this,
know.
they put them in a foster care with a DHS employee that is in the building that we had to come do visits in.
Mhm.
Because after they got the kids back and put them in foster care, we were never allowed, the kids were never allowed back in our home. And we were
What did you
supervised.
do? You didn't do anything.
No, we were supervised.
Yeah,
Okay. They
but
moved
you
it up.
didn't do anything to the children.
No.
Wow.
They actually escalated it months later to where there was a caseworker in the room with us, writing everything down that we did, every move we made. Okay. We had 4 different ones. The first 3 were honest and said what was happening in the room. And the 4th one, she was totally scrambling everything. So they kept her. We never had another visit without her. It was never anybody else. It was always the same one. And she was writing in there things that I knew they were trying to get so that we couldn't ever see them again. So I snuck in my video. I
Good.
snuck in my tablet and I videotaped the whole 3 hours
Mhm.
because she was saying that I was giving my granddaughter grapes and I would wait till her mouth is full and then I would tickle her and she would choke.
Ah,
Or that I was touching my grandson's bottom.
oh my
And he said,
God.
"Don't touch." Yes. After those statement and I would get all those because I made sure I got every report that she wrote. And she would write exactly how much time I spent with my granddaughter and exactly how much time he spent with, each one of us. She wrote down exactly what time, how much
Yep.
time.
Mhm.
And they always made it seem like I favored my grandson over my granddaughter.
Yes, they do this with everybody, Peggy. Let me tell you, they do this with everybody, even with mothers. If they have 2 children, they would say, "Oh, the mother was more clingy to one
Mhm.
child over the other," and it wasn't true.
Mm-mm.
That is not true. They are.
They've given me such a
Yeah.
complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think,
Yep.
am I doing this, and it makes me feel so bad. Well, I
No,
know
you're not
now,
doing this. You're not
it
doing this. Mm-mm.
but yeah, so, the rest of those I have on video, thank God, just in case. Even though I'm not supposed to videotape, but the foster
Okay.
mom,
Wait. Did you just say you're not supposed to videotape?
yeah, I guess, not in their rooms, at their offices.
Mm. I'm going to read something to you real quick that I usually share with my people. I mean, with my people, the people that follow me.
Mhm.
I want to share something real quick. Okay,
Okay.
that's in the California legislative sheet, right? It says a parent or a legal guardian may make a video or an audio recording of his or her interview or interaction with the county child protective services social worker who is investigating allegation of parental abuse or neglect. The legislator finds and declares that nothing in existing law prevent a parent or legal guardian from making a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interaction with a county child protective services social worker. A county child protective services social worker participation in an investigation of parental abuse or neglect shall be deemed consent to video or audio recording pursuant to subdivision A. A county child protective services social worker assigned to a role performing duties that include assuming the custody of children or conducting an interview of a child or his or her parent in order to investigate allegation of parental abuse or neglect shall provide notification to a parent or a legal guardian undergoing investigation of parental abuse or neglect in writing that the parent or legal guardian may make a video or audio recording of his or her interview or interactions with the child, the
Really?
county child protective services social worker. A copy of a written notification shall be signed by the parent or legal guardian and returned to the county child protective services social worker to acknowledge receipt of written notification. If the Commission on State Mandates determines that this act contains costs mandated by the state, reimbursement to local agencies and school district for those costs shall be made pursuant to Part 7, commencing with Section 17500 of Division 4 of Title 2 of the Government Code.
I wonder if it's the same though here,
What state are you in?
Oregon.
That's a good question.
I don't know. I mean,
But
I
however, why don't you Google it? I should actually start researching that for other states as well.
I will look.
However, those pieces of shit, social workers, district attorneys, judges, court pretenders, court appointed attorneys, that is, guardian of litem, all these mother F's are all in
Mhm.
on it together. They took the children from a good home, set you up to fail. These monitors, they are freaking hired to sabotage parents and grandparents' rights.
It's
They're
horrible.
hired to lie. There is a video on YouTube. Social work, an attorney for the Department of Social Workers went to a federal judge, three judges, three federal judges. She told three federal judges that it's okay for a social worker to lie to the state and under oath to take children from their parents. You guys need to watch this video. It was a whole hearing, and I actually posted it on my Facebook page. This dumb broad said to the judges in federal court that it is okay for a social worker to lie. And one of the federal judges couldn't believe it. I actually shared that link.
I can't
Um,
believe it. I can't
yeah,
believe
I
it.
actually shared it. Carissa, I know you're watching. Carissa, please make a copy of that link right now for people to watch. This is very important. You guys don't understand it's deeper than that, Peggy. It's deeper
Yeah.
than you think because you did not grow up in a home like this, neither did I. So
No.
when we see shit like this happening, because all our lives we're thinking the system works. The
Yeah.
system works. The government works.
We thought they were good guys.
Work. No, it doesn't work. If you, Peggy, work for the state, if you, Peggy, are a government official, you would not go through this. They will keep the children with you permanently. But because you're not, right? You don't
Mhm.
have connection with the system, guess what?
Mm-mm.
They will F with your head and make you question your ability. As
Yes.
a grandmother, that's
Yes.
what a narcissist does. What does a narcissist sociopathic do? They get into your psyche first. They make you question who you
Yeah.
are. and you start saying, "Wait a minute, am I doing this? What? What?
Am
What
I good
happened?
enough? Am I not? Am I
Am I
really?
not? Have I been a bad grandmother and I
Yeah.
didn't?" And you start questioning yourself. This shit is real. They
Mhm,
attack your psyche first.
mhm,
Then they attack your character second. Then third, they strip your soul out of your body. And fourth, you're left wondering what the hell just happened. Like
mhm.
you're in a twilight zone
Yes.
and you're not waking up from this nightmare and you're trying to pinch yourself to wake up. Am I right so far?
Mhm.
There you
Totally.
go. There you
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
exactly how they do it.
this I also found out, I forgot this part. I
Yeah.
also found out when I was doing the investigating before they were put in foster care. I called the because we were changed. We were in one county and then we were transferred to another county, and I couldn't figure out why. And oh, I don't know, maybe you have a friend over there. We don't know. And I'm like, that's so weird. So we certified in our county. Then we had to certify the next month in the other county. And so anyway, I called when the kids left, I called our county to find out why are they hiding them from us? I said, I
Right.
want to talk to the top person in charge at this place.
Uh-huh.
Whoever's the top person, because I didn't know who director was or whatever. And they sent me to the director's voicemail.
Right.
And when her name came over that, I said, oh my gosh, that is the mother's last name.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute. So her aunt was the director of DHS child welfare in our county,
Mm-hmm.
but they had already completed 3 or 4 assessments I didn't know about completely with her aunt's DHS, which it should have never been. She has 6 assessments in 2 years.
But her aunt, she has a connection, correct?
Yes, big one.
What did I just say? Is who you know and your title, what your title is. It's not what's best, the best industry,
No.
best for the child. It is what's best for them. See, the children, they traumatize the children. Then when
Oh,
the
yeah.
child reacts, right? They say that the child
My fault.
reacted because of the grandmother,
Yep, it's my
not
fault.
because of the mother
Mm-mm.
or what the mother put them through. You know
No.
what I mean? Or the
Mhm.
father, what the father put them through. They always have to blame someone else. If the grandmother is not in the picture, then they're gonna blame it on the dad. If the dad is
Mhm.
not in the picture, they're gonna blame it on the mom. But
Yeah,
mostly mom, right?
they got rid of the dad. They got rid of our son
Yeah,
way back in the very beginning. They had her file a restraining order.
yeah.
And I have an email. I mean, I have a text from the mother saying to my husband, saying, I'm sorry. They said I had to do it. They said I had to file the restraining order. They were taking the kids.
Wow.
And so they were setting it up. They were setting it up way
Right.
back then, before.
Yeah.
And thank God my son never went back to her ever again. But they never gave him a chance with the kids. He has no arrests, no drugs, no nothing. Um,
Wow.
he has nothing.
God, your story sounds so much like somebody I know. Oh my God.
He had nothing, and they never gave him a chance. They would never let him have the kids. They said he had to do all these classes. Um, he had to do this and that. Well, he has severe anxiety. I mean, severe anxiety with
Because of
crowds
what's
and
going
things.
on.
They played on it.
Yes.
They would not let us go with him to his to any appointments that he had with them. They wouldn't let us go. They didn't want us there because we spoke out and we spoke up and we were listening. His public pretenders didn't even want us there. They wouldn't let us come to the meetings with him. They were I know they're terrible, but they were
Yeah.
terrible.
It's
That
more
we
than
knew.
terrible. You're being nice. Terrible is not even the
I
right
know.
word. Yeah.
No, he had 2 of them. Why would he have 2? I didn't even know why he had 2, but he had 2 working together on him, and they did nothing. We didn't know anything. We knew nothing when we came in. We knew nothing about the system. We knew
Yeah.
nothing about the discovery. Somebody else told me, you need to get discovery and see what they're saying about you. I said, what are you talking about? So I started getting discovery. It says my son was the abuser in it. I said, wait a minute. That's not right. They contradict. It goes back and forth. They tell, it's so bizarre. And everything that the mother, she never liked that I was so close with the kids and that we had the kids, but she was never a mother, never a mother. And they lived in our home when the first one was born. They lived here in our home. But she told them lies after lies about us. They never came to us and said, "Is this true?"
But
Not one
but
time.
but the thing about, see, this is what gets me, okay? When legal guardian or a mother or a father report that the kids in foster home, they're being abused, for example, the kids are not, they're being neglected, they're being abused, they don't take the concern of a parent to investigate the foster home, right? What they
Mhm.
do, they ignore it. However, if the allegation is against you, for example, they don't ignore it. What they say is true. How is it true for the blood family, but
Mhm.
not true for the foster parent?
Mhm.
You understand the point I'm trying to make?
Yes,
The
yes, yes,
allegation,
because they came after us.
yeah, it's kind of like,
We
what
had
the,
an assessment.
yeah,
Somebody
it
said we
doesn't
were
make sense.
doing stuff.
Right. It doesn't
Yeah,
make sense. Nothing
no.
they do, Peggy, makes sense. Everything they do is maliciously done, but
Mhm.
they don't want to be caught, because the time you sue CPS, from what Mr. Davis says, if you prove that it was maliciously done, if you prove that they maliciously sabotaged your case. But what they do is they set rules up in place by setting you up to fail
Yeah.
silently, so they are not held responsible. That's why they don't want to be caught on video. That's why they don't want you to record the visits. Why?
Mhm.
Because the monitor will
Mhm.
write down shit that didn't happen in
Oh, yeah.
the visitation,
Yes.
and then it's your word against hers. And guess who they're going to believe? The scumbag, the
Yes.
threat that was writing the report to
Oh,
begin with.
yeah. If it
That's
can happen to me, can you
correct.
imagine these poor parents?
Yeah.
That's why I think, I'm like, God, why is this happening to us? But I think it's for us. I think it's for me. I feel like it's for me to be able to help the people coming behind us, because those kids, my son didn't know what to do. He was lost. And because they wouldn't let us go with him to help him, figure all this out. I mean, I am my age and I didn't know anything. Can you imagine the kids they're taking their kids and they don't know what to do? They
Mm-mm.
just
They
shut
keep
down.
kids silent. They keep kids silent by giving them drugs. Did you know that? They
Yeah,
actually medicate
yeah,
the children to keep them silent.
yes.
And that, to me, how dare you, government? How freaking dare you allow this shit to happen
Right.
daily? Daily, we pay for you, mother F's. We
Mhm,
pay your salary. My tax dollars is going to you.
mhm.
For you, scumbags working to
Yeah,
steal children. That's what pisses
um,
me off. And
yeah.
we the people have power. We can't even exercise our power. And they say
Mhm,
America the Great. Where is America the Great? Where is America the Great? The land of the free? How is that free when you set rules in place with all these demonic entities,
mhm.
government officials, to violate every parent's rights, violating every constitutional right that we have? They don't just violate one, they violate multiple.
No, I forgot
Multiple.
about this. There's
Yeah,
so much. I
yeah,
When they came to our house to do the visits or whatever to get the certification for for when we were transferred. One of the I buy and sell bags, Coach bags,
yeah.
and she wanted to buy one from me. So I went outside with her, and she goes, "Do you have a bruise on your eye?" I
Oh my
said,
God.
"What are you talking about?" She goes, "It looks like you have a bruise." I said, "Well, I was just putting on my makeup when you guys came." Oh, okay. No, in the paperwork. Let me go here first. Then they came again. I had just had some oral surgery. I said, I just had surgery. The supervisor yells back to the other 15 girls that were with her. Not really, but there was, I don't know, 4 of them. Oh, she just had oral surgery, whatever. So they all came in. And then next thing I know, I'm being asked later on, why did you have a cloth up to your mouth? Did your kids hit you? Did your husband hit you? I
Oh
said,
my
what are you
God.
talking about?
Yep.
I didn't even remember. I didn't remember that I had done that until I'm like, oh my gosh, they're talking about when I had oral surgery and the day, because they said in the paperwork she didn't have oral surgery. She was just at our place yesterday. How could that be? Or something, they tried to make it so that my kids or my husband was hitting me and I
Wow.
was hiding it.
Wow.
I had to bring in my
Why am I
dental.
surprised though? What am I
I know.
surprised?
I had to bring in my dental stuff when we were okay, so the kids are now in foster, not now, but my story. They're in foster care with the DHS employee. Um, we have to visit in their office. I call the governor's advocacy office to get someone to help us. He tells me, amongst other things, but I wrote this down because he said, if DHS tells you to wear red pants, you wear red pants. I have that in the text. And then he references it again and he says, remember my analogy that if DHS asks you to wear red pants to your visits, do it. It is clear that you love and care for your grand. If doing it will get them into your care, who cares why they want you to wear red pants? That was the governor's advocacy office, ombudsman. Okay.
And this is why we have scumbags that work for the government. Do you guys hear me? We have scumbags like him that work for the government. And they are actually government officials who actually violates our rights. And they allow these scumbags, social workers, to do whatever they want to do with parents. That's
Mm-hmm.
how freaking
Because they tell you, go to the governor's advocacy office, go to the governor. And I thought, oh, okay, yeah. Well, now I would tell people, do not do that because what they're doing is getting information from you and they're giving it to the caseworker,
the
letting them all
caseworker.
know
Yep,
what you know, what you're
yep,
doing,
yep,
what you have up your sleeve.
yep.
So he ended up closing our case and siding with DHS, of
Mm-hmm,
course.
mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I have a ton of stuff from that, but just another little
But you guys don't
part.
understand. You don't understand, Peggy. They side with each other. The
Yes,
state sides with the county. The
they're all
counties,
the same.
they're all the same. You guys going to the mayor? The mayor is not going to listen
No,
to you.
no, the mayor's my
People
friend.
say,
I asked
"Oh,
him.
mayor." Yeah, they're not. The mayor's. Oh my God, we have a lady that actually contacted Mayor Newsom, whatever the hell his name is, the scumbag,
Gavin?
Gavin Newsom. Yeah, she contacted him about her case, and he told her, kind of like, why are you bothering me?
Yes.
You must have did something wrong.
I did have a senator involved. I
They don't
finally
care, Peggy.
I finally got someone to listen, I thought. I was all
No, that's a
excited.
lie. It's a
I know.
lie.
I was all excited.
Yeah,
We went months and months,
yeah.
going back and forth. Okay, she said and finally her final letter was that she investigated to the highest degree our case. I can't remember word for word, but it made me think that she had DHS investigate themselves because she said they're doing everything to protocol.
Oh
Um,
my God.
yes, yes.
Oh my Jesus. Oh my
So
Jesus.
I didn't even
How
reply.
can I get over this?
I just said thank you, and I just thought, okay, so that is not a resource for me.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
I've gone through state representatives. I've gone through. None of them care. I always got excited. Oh my gosh, they're going to help us. They're going to help us. Nobody cares. They're all together. They're all making money together.
Oh
Is
my
my
God.
view. The judge, the GAL,
They
all
all
of them.
the thing about this is this. They win votes, right? Governor, whatever his name is, you just mentioned. I hate saying his name, but
Mhm,
he actually wins the votes of all these workers and all these
mhm.
people, and they want him to be in office and all this blah 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 blah. Same thing with judges. They're actually attorneys in black robes,
She was a
right?
public pretender before she was a judge.
There you go.
Yes, then she was our judge for the whole dependency case and the
Yes.
custody hearing. I have her on audio in one of the
Yeah.
hearings telling the mother
Yep.
how to get custody of the children. Then
Yep.
she was our custody judge.
Yep.
The
Yep.
mother has been in 3 rehabs in 2 years. Abuse has 2 foundeds, 6
Mhm.
assessments
Mhm.
in 2 years, has a horrifying psych eval that she took a test, some test, an abuse scale test. It caps at 215. She got a 244. Says she should not be around children without a watchful eye. There are tons of stuff in the psych eval. I don't even know how I got it. We subpoenaed that psych eval doctor to our custody hearing so we could use that psych
Wow.
eval.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
he is contracted by DHS. He was a no-show.
Oh
He
my
didn't come to court. I'm like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. And anyway, she won sole custody after everything we told the judge, everything we gave the judge. She won not even partial custody. She won sole custody. The judge gave us 7 days a year visitation, 7 days a year. And we're the ones who raised the kids and loved them. And I, yeah, but she is so mentally ill. Sorry. I hope nobody's hearing me that I know, that we I have befriended her. It's really hard for me, but I have to do everything I can to befriend her so that we can at least be in their lives. She moved from the last rehab. They gave her custody of the kids while they were in rehab with her.
Mm.
My son's never been to rehab. And she moved from rehab to a homeless shelter,
Wow.
to a halfway house, to a boyfriend's house. This is all since February of this year. And we've been seeing the kids regularly and more than we are supposed to, or more than what's said, because we would hand her a little bit of money to go do something for herself.
Wow.
And she would let the kids stay with us. We had them the whole month of August. Thank God. I'm not complaining. I mean, thank God, but I'm so worried about them. They're in a very terrible big city. She does not have the smarts to have them out on the streets walking with her. It's really, really hard. They are here with us right now, thank God, for Christmas. The judge did not even give my son Father's Day as a visitation.
Oh my God.
He doesn't even have Father's Day or anything. But we do have this year, we do get Christmas. So we went and got him on Saturday. And my granddaughter has already told me several and prayed. I've heard her pray that she doesn't want to go home. She wants to stay with grandma. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to go. What little girl doesn't want to go home to her mother? It's because the boyfriend is taking care of them
Yep.
solely. And
Yep.
he's only,
I
I
know.
can't, I can't.
I know. I know.
And
Well,
my
how
hands
old is
are tied.
your granddaughter again?
She just turned 5.
Oh,
December 1st, she just turned 5. And she cries. I went to see them one weekend a couple of weeks ago and I stayed in a motel with them, just to see them. And she cried. She didn't want to go home. I want to stay with you, Grandma. I want to stay with you. And my grandson's more quiet. I know he doesn't want to go. He wants to stay. They don't want to go because she's not a mother. She doesn't hug them and love them. Who is this guy? Well, I can just say that I'm thankful it's not her. I don't know. This guy seems really nice. He's my age. He's way older than her, but he seems to take care of the kids. That could be good. I don't know. I try to think of it as a good thing because my hands are tied. I can't do anything about it. I've tried. I put in an appeal from that custody judge because I don't know if you can see this. This was her judgment. She had 80. There's 80. Where is it? This is her judgment. These are all mistakes. These are all lies that I put. I wrote on the judgment because it's all lies. She went off of lies from the dependency case.
I know.
I mean, it's not. So I put in the appeal. I had everything going. It was like 3 months later, I got a dismissal that they dismissed my appeal because I
Yep.
was one day late.
Peggy, they will dismiss your appeal even if you were not one day late. Peggy, you don't understand. The fight is not with the state. You can't win with the state. You win federal level. You have to show in federal level. Mr.
How do you
Davis,
get to that level?
well, Mr. Davis, the attorney that I work for, Mr. Davis has
Yeah.
civil shows. He's very good attorney. And I'm not saying that because I work for him. I'm saying that because his mind is like an encyclopedia. This man knows federal codes like the back of his hand. Literally, he knows federal codes. I have seen attorneys call me to ask to speak to him to help them with cases. Okay?
Wow.
He's that great. His mind is brilliant. You should just watch one of his shows and you'll
Oh,
understand.
I will. I will.
Great. Yes,
Yes.
he is the best. Jesse even said it. He is he's just an encyclopedia of knowledge that people, when they watch him, they're like, wow, wow.
Oh, I
He
can't wait
knows
to
what
watch
he's
it.
doing, but you really need, you have my cell number, Peggy. You and I texted today.
Mm-hmm.
You need tomorrow, God willing, if I'm alive, tomorrow, I want you to text me and I want you to remind me to talk to you about what Davis knows about civil cases and what have you, to go over the case with you, your case with you. You have a really amazing case. You do.
Mm-hmm.
But what people don't understand, or what you don't understand, even though the kids are still with the abuser, they do this temporarily, like say for a year or 6 months or 12 or 18 months rather. Then they go back and take the child again. It's like recycling back to more funding.
I will freak out.
They understand? No, but do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
yes.
how they operate. And nothing I'm telling you is bogus. It
Mm-mm.
really,
No, no, yeah.
because when they leave the with the kids with the abusive party, they know they're going to recycle and they're going to get more funding because they're going to go back and get that child back. You understand what I'm saying? That it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be an all over again nightmare that
Oh my
doesn't end.
God. Oh my God. I
Yeah,
can't. I
yes,
this already consumes every minute of my day when they're
it
not
does.
listening.
It does, Peggy. But see, when I tell you stuff like that, it's not to scare you, but to
No,
make
I know.
10 steps ahead of them. See, that's what they're planning on doing. So people don't understand that when you get a qualified juvenile dependency attorney that understands civil lawsuits against those scum assholes, you will never get anywhere in your case because you need the knowledge of a person that understands
Mhm.
how to win cases using strategy. Now, when you ask an attorney, a juvenile dependency attorney, I'm not saying family law. Family law and juvenile are completely different entities. They're completely different. Juvenile attorneys, I mean, family law attorneys do not understand juvenile dependency laws. They're
Mhm.
completely different world. So if you go hire a family law attorney for your CPS case, family law attorneys will always ask for a smaller retainer, but they're not going to help you. The way
No.
they behave in court is exactly the same way as a court
Mhm.
pretender behaves.
Yes, yes, we had an attorney and
Yeah.
she did not did we
See?
win? No.
But
She
did
was
you, am I right? You didn't tell
yes.
me that part.
No,
I'm
she
telling you what I
no.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 attorneys and, did we win? No, we are not and our first attorney was connected to DHS and didn't tell us.
Hmm.
Did
I
not
know.
tell us.
And
Her
she took your little retainer, right?
oh,
Took a
yeah.
small retainer,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then what? 6 weeks later, she's like, "Oh well, we need $6,000, or we
No,
need
I
ten
didn't even
thousand dollars."
I don't even know if we got that far, but she said something about this name, and it was the guy it was the attorney who owned the law firm. She said his name, and I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "That's the same last name as the lady who denied us our, certification." "Oh, well, that's her husband." I said, "What? Are
There
you
you
k"
go.
I said, "What?" She goes, "But there's no conflict."
No conflict.
I said,
Are
"Uh-uh."
you kidding me right now? No
Mm-mm.
conflict.
I reported her to this
Doesn't matter if you report it to the
No,
state. The state is going to protect them.
they don't care.
They don't care because the state will protect them, Peggy. That's what you don't understand.
I know. I just think
The
everybody's going to
state
do the
does.
right thing. I keep thinking
No,
people are going to do the right thing, but it's just
because
this.
you would do the right thing.
Yes, it's just this.
Right. No, that's
It's
not.
the same
That's not.
cycle.
No,
No,
no.
no, it was crazy. Even my son's counselor was connected to the foster parents and didn't tell him
Right.
until later on in his counseling. And my son's like, "What? You're best friends with the foster parents?"
Yes. They're all together, sweetheart, just like firefighters and police officers.
Yeah.
Guess what? They're not the
Mhm.
same, but yet the
Right.
same because they side with each other. If a
Mhm.
cop stops a firefighter who's drinking beer
Mhm.
while
Mhm.
he's driving with his pregnant wife, he will tell his pregnant wife to go behind the wheel
Mhm.
and take over. But
Yeah, I
if
believe
it's
it.
a normal driver, normal person, they will
Right.
arrest the shit out of them.
Mhm.
Okay. But if the wife is telling her husband not to drink and drive, right? And because he has a
Right.
badge, a firefighter
Mhm.
badge that protects him, guess what? The police will side with who? With the fire,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's
And
something
there you
else.
have it.
Here's something else I did that I didn't know I was doing, but a lady at the courthouse said, "Oh, because I tell everybody my story, just because you never know, you may run into that person who can help you or, make them aware of what's going on. I don't know." And she said, "You need to talk to so and so. Here's
Wow.
the number." So I called so and so, and I had to call this other number. Finally, after like three or four connections,
Right.
this lady says to me, "Oh," I'm telling her, she said, "Well, tell me what it's about before you talk to so and so."
Right.
And I said, "Well, this is what it's about." And she said, "Oh, those kiddos are on our something, or we know those kiddos or
Right.
something." Well, it didn't click to me. Okay, and she said, and then I'm telling the story, and she says, "Oh, you really need to speak to so and so. I'll put you right through." So she puts me through to this lady. I
Wow.
say hello. The lady does not introduce herself because I know her name, but doesn't tell me who she is. I tell my whole story. I'm sobbing. I'm saying, "Please help me," because I think they're going to give them back to her. And at the end of my whole thing, she
Wow.
says, "Well, I want to let you know I'm the AAG for DHS."
Wow.
I said, "What?"
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I was like, "I just told you every," I told my husband, I said, "Well, this is either going to go really good. Now she knows the
Right.
truth, or it's going to go really bad." And it
Right.
went really bad. They just circled around. They just kept hammering us. And I mean, they drug us. My husband's retired military. He has accommodations. My parents owned a business in this town. I mean, we're good people.
I
And
know
they've
you
dragged
are.
us through the mud.
Mm-hmm.
They have, I was a very trusting person. Maybe I still am too trusting, but I now do not, I haven't even been to the doctor since I had all of this happen because I thought I don't trust doctors
Mm-mm.
because the
All of
doctor,
those therapists, Peggy, therapists,
no,
doctors, and schools, they're
no,
all in on it.
yes, I
Therapist. I
don't trust.
have a client that went to see a therapist, a family therapist. She told the family therapist, family, and the family. When you're going through separation from your partner.
Right.
So
Hmm.
it was during COVID, the beginning of COVID. So the partner lost his job. The mother was a stay-at-home mom. The dad started getting stressed with like everybody else
Hmm.
because of COVID and the lockdown and losing jobs and all,
Right.
unemployment was not accepting, blah 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 blah. The whole
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Then she told her therapist, she said, "You know what? My husband and I yell at each other about financial issues, and I just need you to kind of help me cope with this stress because of COVID. And this is new to me. I've never
Right.
been locked down. We never experienced
Right.
loss of job and all that." The therapist, because the mother has three children, she reported her to Child Protective
Oh my
Services,
God.
telling Child Protective Services that the mother and the father have domestic violence.
Oh my
The
gosh.
mother never said ever that the father laid a hand on
Oh
her.
my
All
gosh.
she said is the stress of COVID and the
Hmm.
loss of job.
Hmm. They twist everything.
They twist
All of
everything.
them.
The therapist, people pay the
I
therapist
know. I
money.
know.
And
I
that
will never. I will
that
never.
little piece of shit reported them to
Mhm.
Child Protective Services. And guess what? That therapist got funding. School get funding. The police get
Mhm.
funding. The hospitals get funding. So they made it into a way where they ensure funding from every which way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you guys are
Yes.
telling me this, that some people tell me that the system works. If anybody tells me the system works, I literally would look at them, spit on the ground, and walk away.
They
Because you
must be a
guys
part of it
have,
then.
yeah, they guys have to be dumbasses to tell me that the system works. The
There's
system
no way.
doesn't work unless you have connection with
Right.
the freaking system.
Exactly. Exactly. You have to
They,
be even,
they all lie.
I sell things on Facebook, and this one lady said she was a DHS something. I don't even know how she got started with that. And I said, "Oh, it sold." I wouldn't sell to her. That there's just this, you see people in such a different light now. I
Yep.
used to trust policemen. I trusted policemen. I trusted
I trust no one.
judges.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't
No.
anymore. I don't.
I would trust a janitor.
Right.
I would shake a hand of a janitor, okay,
Mhm.
before I shake a hand of the president of the United freaking States
Oh, yes. Yeah,
in a heartbeat. I would literally have meals with a janitor
mhm.
and sit on the same table with the government officials.
Makes me sick
I
to my
have
stomach.
no respect for
No,
no one that
no.
carries a badge. I have no respect for anyone that takes advantage and misuse their authority.
Mhm.
Protect and serve. Where the hell is protect and serve? Where is, if they say child protective services, officers protect and serve? Where is the protect and serve? They look at people, innocent people, as criminals,
Yes.
and they look at a criminal as innocent.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
That's
Why are all these
exactly how our system works.
I
The
don't
lie,
even get that.
the lie, Peggy, is the truth, and the
Yes.
truth is a lie
Yes, yes, yes.
in in their demonic head, because they're literally bankrupt from themselves. All these
Mhm.
government officials are literally bankrupt from themselves. They take advantage because they have a badge. They take advantage of the weak,
Mhm.
and they get away with it. And we as humans,
Mhm.
the ones that work hard, the little people, they take our money because we pay taxes. And
Right.
everything that we pay for, it goes in their pocket. Everything. Yet there's people, firefighters, who lie on their income, on their
Mhm.
IRS tax returns. They get away with it. If a firefighter owns 12 properties, he would only report 5. I've seen it happen multiple times.
I
But they
just
get away with it. But yet the poor and the needy,
it makes me
right?
sick.
They do you understand? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No,
Is it
yes,
clicking in
yes.
your head?
It
They're
does,
not,
but
yeah,
yes. Yes,
yeah.
it's horrible.
It's horrible. It's
It makes me
horrible.
sick. It truly is the way you say it.
Yeah.
When I was watching your show for the first time last week, I was like, I found myself nodding all the time when you were talking, yeah, yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly it. And a lot of people that don't go through it, they say,
They
"No, Georgette, you're wrong. The government,
right.
the system works." I'm
I
like,
would never have
no,
believed it. I would have
no,
never believed it until
no.
it happened to me.
Exactly.
I would have
Before it
never.
happened to Peggy, if they mentioned Child Protective Services took a child, you'd be like,
Shut up. No way.
"Yeah, it's true.
No.
Something is wrong with the parent, right?"
Right.
Yeah. But no,
Yes.
baby girl, they take
Oh my
children from
gosh.
good parents and they put children with the abusive party,
Yes. I,
not with the good party, baby girl.
no.
That
No,
never
we're
happens.
good people.
Yeah, never happens.
I
That's
can't, I just, it's so frustrating that they are allowed to traumatize my grandkids. They're
they
allowed to. They can do whatever they want, and I can't stop them.
nope, nope. And
I
if
couldn't
you
have
open
stopped
your
them.
mouth, they
I
can
couldn't have
revoke.
stopped them on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
day.
If you open your mouth, they can take away your visits. The 7 days a
Oh,
year, they will
they
take that away.
did. That's a whole nother thing. Yes, they did that.
They did that
They
already.
lied. They lied about my husband.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes. He confronted the caseworker in her office, not in her office. He wasn't even in the door. It's a very small office. And he went and said, okay, my son said this. Why did you guys get something? He confronted her about something. I could hear her yelling at him from the room where I was with the kids, and his mom and dad were there too. Okay. So we all heard her yelling, and she's a narcissist. So I'm
Yep.
like, so we're looking there, and he's in the doorway, and he starts backing up, and he's backing up and backing up, and he's like, I'm out of here. And he left. Well, I didn't know what happened. And anyway, she turned it around in paperwork and said that he was blocking her from getting out of her office.
But see, he
And
did wrong. He went to confront her in any which way possible. That is wrong. Mr. Davis specifically says, do not,
ugh,
do not. confront the social worker. Even if you're communicating with her as calmly as can be,
Mhm,
they
mhm.
will twist everything you're
Yes.
saying.
Oh, yes, we are learning the
Yeah,
hard way
yeah. So you should
because
never
she
do that.
totally
People don't do their homework
no,
about CPS. They think because
well,
they're good parents, they're going to get away with it. They're
and
gonna be
because of
okay.
right,
Not
and because
true.
of who CPS
Right.
is, you think they're all up and up on the up and up, and they're taking care of things, and you trust them. We've learned the hard way, and I wish, like you're helping me. I wish I could help somebody else. You cannot trust them. Don't do this. It's just it's so crazy. You can't even.
Yeah.
It just is
It's
crazy.
crazy. It's like it makes you feel like I'm like I said, it makes you feel like you're living you're in a like a twilight
Twilight,
zone
yes.
moment. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're not sure if you're ever going to wake up from this nightmare.
Mhm.
When CPS becomes involved, it's a nightmare. So
Oh God.
say your
Yeah.
son gets into another relationship. Okay,
Oh,
so
he is. He's about to
okay.
have a baby.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
I know. I know. I know. I know. Please, I can't. I.
Uh yeah. Okay, I'm not going to tell you because you already know what I'm going to say.
Mhm.
So it is very important for people to understand that if you want to have a relationship and you want to have normal again, get out of the country, not
Mhm.
out of the state, but get the hell out of the country. Because honest to God, they will retaliate against you and make sure they take every child from you. If you have
All my
a child
grandkids.
with another woman that's clean as a whistle, great attitude, great personality,
Mhm.
perfect record, they will come after you because of that previous
Mhm.
CPS case. So you guys need to be mindful because
Mhm.
before you bring another life in this world, consider the consequences behind it. And
Mhm.
before you get into a relationship, know who you're getting into a
Yeah.
relationship with for the love of God. It's
Mhm.
not a matter of how pretty the woman is.
Mhm.
For the love of God, the woman's mind and her psyche ability to raise a child, you need to
Mhm.
at least go to a therapist, maybe see where you guys fit, if you guys fit
Mhm.
together. Have a long-term relationship before you start having a child.
I.
Children is just what, 5 minutes? Then all of a sudden you conceive the child. But for the long run, the child is suffering because you
Exactly.
brought that child in the world with the wrong person. And now the child is dealing with
It breaks my heart.
the consequences behind the parent's decision.
It kills me. Yeah.
Okay, so choose wisely. If you suspect, I mean, there's a lot of books how to spot a narcissist, how to spot a sociopath. Study, understand who you're with,
These
know
stupid
how to,
kids don't think it's going to happen to
yeah,
them again.
exactly. Yeah,
They
they're
won't
stupid.
listen.
They don't listen.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
kids.
it's true.
It is.
Listen and study the person you're with before you decide to have a child with that person. It's easy to make a child,
Mhm.
but the child didn't ask to come in a world of
No.
chaos
No. Ugh.
between a mom and a dad either.
Mm-mm.
It's not the child's fault. So be wise, think before you react, and learn from others' mistakes and learn from your past. If you don't learn from your past, you're pretty much repeating the same piece of
Mhm.
shit cycle, and you're never going to come out of this.
Mhm.
And it's going to be like this for the rest of your life. For the love of God, think wisely and choose wisely.
I'm
Because
so
when you
glad.
choose
Yeah.
the wrong partner, and I know narcissists can, brain they win you by your mind first. They get you mentally first.
Mhm.
I know you don't get it, you don't see it. And even the most educated woman would fall for a narcissist.
Mhm.
So study, understand their behavior, understand how to spot them, understand what they do.
Yeah, I'm just learning about him.
Yeah, this is it's we need to be aware of who we are with before we have children with them. Because honestly, your parents suffer and the children
Yes.
suffer.
Yes. I'm so afraid to get close to the.
Yeah, it's because you can't.
Uh,
because of the outcome. And
it's
that's why it's important now, Peggy, to get an attorney now for him. That's
yeah,
important,
you're right.
right? Not wait until he's taken from
Right.
birth.
You're right.
You have to
I
get an
didn't think of that.
attorney
Yeah.
now. Yeah, to set it up now. So that way, when the social worker goes to the hospital,
We have to find a good one though.
right? When the social worker goes to the hospital, then you have to tell them, hey,
Oh my
we
God.
hired this attorney. You need to speak to them. That's the
Oh,
very important. There is in your state and county. I will discuss with you tomorrow, God willing.
okay.
Just text me tomorrow
Okay.
morning.
I have to
Um,
tell you something funny really quick. The
sure,
caseworker that has caused all this turmoil lives down the road from us.
of course.
And I have to see her and I just start shaking. My whole body just starts shaking when I see her. And, yeah, it's trauma it's traumatized our whole family. Not I mean the kids especially, that's who we care about, but even us, I think we are traumatized from this whole thing. Taking them out of our house like that was the worst. I mean, absolutely, that was terrible.
Right. It is. It really, really is. And you know what's so sad? They actually laugh or smile on your face when you're
Oh,
crying. They don't. They are so bankrupt from themselves.
people say, "How
That
can they do
woman's
that?"
power is disgusting. It's
I said
disgusting.
only because they're not human.
Yeah,
That's how I tell people. They say, "How can they sleep at night?" I say, "Because they're not human.
they're not human.
How
They're.
could a human do
But
that?"
remember this: demons, right? They have
Mhm.
to have a nest, a body to nest in.
Oh, yes,
Demons have to
yes.
have a body to nest in. A demon cannot nest in a holy body or a good soul. A demon chooses an unholy place to nest. Remember that.
Hmm.
What comes out of your mouth is what defiles us, you guys. You guys need to understand that your thought have to remain positive even when
Yes.
you see no hope.
I never say it.
Strengthen your hope. Don't ever say
Don't
that
speak
you're
it.
failing. Don't ever say that you lost. Don't ever say that you're
Mhm.
helpless. You're gonna have to speak power over your life.
Yes,
You
I
have to
believe
put
that.
positivity in your words. Whatever that comes out of your mouth is what
Mhm.
defiles you. It's not what you eat, it's what comes out of your mouth. What words you bring out of your
Mhm.
mouth. It will be set in place for you. If you speak
Yes.
positive and you think
Yes.
positive, you will get the results of positivity result.
I try to tell people that I don't ever
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
I can't even say it now just to even give you an example. I never say those
Yeah.
things. I might think them, but I don't say them because that's very powerful.
It is. It is. Words are very powerful.
Mhm.
And to me, I remember my mom when I was a little girl. My mom and dad, I mean, they were together until death did them part. They like died a few months apart. Okay.
Oh.
And I remember when my mother died, I used to take care of my mom. I used to go to work. I used to work for Solomon Smith Barney in Century City. I don't know if you remember. Back in the day, Solomon Smith Barney was an investment firm. I used to work for them, and my mom was dying of cancer, and I would,
Mm.
leave work, go sleep with her at the hospital, then take a shower at the hospital, then go back to work. That's how my life was. And I remember when my mom died, my dad put the last rose. He used to buy her, he not buy her. He used to pick one good rose a week every Wednesday because he met her on a Wednesday, and he would
Oh.
give her one rose. And I remember I was used to ask my dad, "Why do you do that? That's so annoying." As a child, I'm like, "That's so just lame," kind of like that. My dad told me the story how they met. My dad was engaged, and my mom fell in love with her because of her humbleness, of her quietness, of her soul. She had a good, wholesome soul.
Mhm.
And my dad was appreciative to God. Like I grew up in a Christian home. My
Mhm.
dad used to always have Bible study once a week, and we used to talk about issues and problems of life.
Right.
So my dad taught us that. My dad and my mom taught us togetherness, wisdom. When you're separated, you're weaker, but when you're
Right.
together, you're stronger. And he always educated us. Wisdom was always wise words coming from him. When he put that last rose on my mom's grave, and he said, "This is the last rose that I'm leaving you, my dear." That's what he said to my mother. and he wept next to her, I realized that that closeness of a family is divided because my mother is no longer there. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
That's love. When a
Yes.
woman doesn't nag her husband and the husband doesn't cheat on his wife, doesn't fight his wife, and vice versa, that's called love. Choose that type of love.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes even the good ones fall into the hands of a narcissist, not knowing that this is an actual
Right.
narcissist. If you don't educate yourself, you're going to fall in the wrong hands. Coming from a good family or not, you're going to fall in the wrong
Mm-hmm.
hands. So you have to be wise. You have to
Mm-hmm.
take your parents' teaching and understand why they taught you this because they
Mm-hmm.
knew life better than you.
Yep.
So take it as a word of advice in your life and carry it and think about what I'm saying. This
Right.
is to everyone. If you don't want to take my advice, that's fine. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you anyway. When you
It's
find
good
love,
advice.
right? When you find love and you want to build a family based on that love,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's the kind of love you want to build a family with.
Yeah.
Not just a nightstand, one night stand, not just a pretty face, because that pretty face
Fades away.
fades away so quick when you see their true identity. A
Mm-hmm.
handsome man in a uniform, this is just a mask.
Yeah.
Because after a few months, he will show you his true colors.
Mm-hmm.
And that's after he already got you mentally to question yourself later
Mm-hmm.
on. So take it
Good
as a bit of,
advice.
yeah, a bit of advice, young people who are trying to have a family. Choose
Mm-hmm.
wisely, then have a family.
Yes.
That's really what it is. Okay? So Peggy, thank you for listening to my
No, I love it.
words.
It's so me, that's where I grew up. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's love, Peggy. That's all I knew
mhm,
growing up. So when we
mhm,
face tragic relationship, it leaves you with what the
yeah,
hell? That's exactly how you are. You're like,
yeah,
what? What just you
dumbfounded.
can't process because you're not used to
Mhm.
it. You're
No,
not
not at
used to
all.
this type of dysfunction.
I'm like, "No, they didn't really mean that."
Yeah,
People
yeah,
say, "Yes, they did." I'm like, "No."
yeah.
Well, I just
It's
have learned a lot. It's
yeah,
really sad.
it is. It's very, very sad because the people that are supposed to be there to protect are literally the people who are
Hurting
the
them.
the predators.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're child abductors. They abduct children.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do, and they put them in harm's way.
Mhm.
That's exactly what they do. It's like
Oh,
they get satisfaction out of it. You know
yeah,
what it is with a narcissist? Because when you cry in front of a narcissist, you already gave them power.
they love it.
Yeah, they love it. They love
Mhm,
it so much.
mhm,
When you look at a narcissist and you're sad and they're smiling in your face, that means they won.
mhm.
That means
Oh,
they won.
yes. When they denied us, Dana and I walked out of that room
Yeah.
smiling.
See?
We
Yeah.
walked out of there smiling. I said, "Whatever you
Yeah.
do not let them see you upset.
Nope.
Let's just walk out." And then when we got down to the car, we were, "Ah, ha, 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 ha," so if they were looking out of the window or something, they'd see us
No,
smiling.
that's the wrong strategy too. When you deal with a narcissist, they're wrong. When you deal with a narcissist, you have to show them a poker face. When you show them
It's
any
true.
type of emotion, whether
It's
it's
true.
happy, sad, confusion, body language movement, all that, you're literally giving them power. When you show them no feelings whatsoever,
That's true.
yeah, when you're playing poker, you don't want their next door,
Yeah,
your next opponent knowing what you have.
right.
So you have to no show nothing. That's exactly
Right.
how you have to be with them. Even in
I'm glad
court.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
That's
even in
good.
court. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
that's that's not the
You're
strategy,
right.
baby girl. Yeah, there's so much.
Right.
I literally
I
had to
know.
study psychology to understand
I
the
wanted to be
narcissist's
yeah.
mind. You literally have to read. My son was in college at the time, and I took several books of his, and I started studying and reading. And people don't understand that in order for you to win over the devil, right? In order for you to gain
Mhm.
control, the Bible says what? Praying, right? Praise are what stops the
Without
fiery darts
yeah.
from affecting you. With the narcissist, is knowledge, how to deal with them. They will get under your skin so bad they will poke you until you
Yes.
just wanna,
Yes.
like, retaliate back. But that's what they want. So they can turn around and say, "Look
Hmm.
at her, she's
They
crazy.
can
Look what
use
she did.
it.
Yeah,
They
look what
can
she
use
did.
it.
She's crazy."
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're
Never got
calm,
into that part either. There
right?
was
And
mom.
they're very calm. They're very calm.
Yeah.
If you notice, under pressure. But
Hmm. Oh
that's how
yeah.
they,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's
They
how
don't
they
ever
get.
show any.
Yep, yep. That's why I said you have to have a poker face, baby. Even if you're dying inside, you
Oh,
have to have a poker face.
I'm gonna have to practice that one.
Yeah, you have to practice that. And it, like, right now, I'm in my 50s, and let me tell you something. It took me years to understand that because I didn't grow up in a home like this. So when
Right.
my parents died, it's kind of like I realized that the true identity of reality.
Hmm.
The reality of this is that people are demonic,
Oh man.
right?
They are.
Our
They
government
really
is
are.
demonic. Yes. Yeah.
How could you do that to children?
It's
Watch that bond. They wanted to destroy that bond between us. And
because
they
the devil purpose is to divide. In order for them to divide is to conquer. So
mhm.
they have to divide the family in order for them
Mhm.
to conquer the family
Mhm.
and to get what they want. The devil's purpose is to divide, right? And conquer.
Mhm. Yep.
So how do they divide? They use children to divide
Mhm.
because that's the closest thing to
Yeah.
family is the
Yeah.
child.
Sick.
My mother loved her grandkids, and I told her one day, I said, "Mom, you love your grandkids more than you love us." And she said, "Absolutely."
Yes.
Yeah. And she just nodded her head down. I looked at my dad, and my dad said, "You knucklehead, we love all of you, but we
Right.
just love them an extra special."
Right.
Yeah.
There's something different. There
Yeah.
really is. I
Yeah.
mean, I would kill for my I mean, I would, I'm not serious, but you
Yeah.
say it's just a different kind of feeling.
Yeah.
It's so intense. You just
That
love,
is
I don't
correct.
know.
It is. It's
I don't know.
intense. It's love. It's
Mhm.
That's what love is. And it's very hard to try to explain the love you have for a child because
Mhm.
either you know or you don't know. You can't explain it
Right.
to a demonic
Right.
person because they don't care
Oh,
about your feelings.
no.
They
No.
don't. So when you explain it to a demonic person, they look at you like,
Yeah, I
have you ever,
wasted so
yeah,
many texts,
yeah,
long texts to those
yeah,
people,
yeah,
telling how I felt and how it was hurting us, and
yeah, yeah. But the more you're telling them, the more you're giving them
I
power.
know. Not anymore. This was a long in the beginning.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
beginning is the impression that you showed them is
right.
who they
Yes,
are retaliating against.
they knew. Yeah.
That's it. That only takes one. That's why
Mhm.
during the investigation period of your case, that's the most important part to hire an attorney. Not people think, oh well, the parent is bad. I'm gonna get my grandkids, or
Right.
the
They
husband is
do.
bad. I'm gonna have the kids place with me, or whatever. No, it doesn't work that
Right.
way. The
And we don't
investigation part is the crucial one to make sure the attorney does not that the attorney stops any type of move.
right. Oh, I wish I would have
Quote unquote.
known. I
Yeah,
wish we could tell people you need, even though this hasn't happened to you, watch this
yeah.
because
People
it could
don't
happen to
listen.
anybody.
No, no. And a lot of people, when I tell them that on the phone, when we speak on the phone, they like, no, Georgette, I'm a good mom. Nothing's gonna happen to me.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
are you kidding me right now? You think because you're a great mom, nothing is gonna happen to you. If CPS wants to take your kids, they will take your kids.
And they will twist everything
And they
against
will
you.
twist everything around.
Mhm.
But what people don't understand is that just because they're good parents, it doesn't mean
It
anything.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Once they have their eyes set on you, you're done.
Yeah. Why did they attack good parents? Why would they attack
Mhm.
bad ones? The demons don't
Mhm.
attack each other. Think about it.
Mhm.
Demons, if they attack each other, their house is going to break. It's
Mhm.
going to come
Right.
apart
Right.
because a house divided against itself is not going to stand.
Right.
So how are they going to go against themselves? They're going against God's children. They're going
Right.
against good ones.
Because you always see, they always give them back to the abusers. You
That's
always see
right.
that.
Yep,
Or
that
they
is
don't
correct.
take care of the kids that are literally being abused.
They never do.
Mm,
They
no,
never do. They never do.
it's so
And when the
hard.
child is
It hurts
older,
my
the
head.
child starts speaking out, you know, speaking out because,
Mhm.
hey, I told the social worker, I reported it to my teacher, blah, blah, blah. And they still kept the children with the abuser.
Yeah, they do what they want to do.
Yeah, they do what they want to do. And that's why they're demonic. That's
Mhm,
why the government officials are demons. They're literally demons in a
mhm.
human body because
I
all they care about is money,
I
money,
believe it.
money, money.
Yes, they're awful.
They're
All of
awful.
them.
Yeah, all of
There
them.
isn't one, there isn't one of them. I thought I was talking to one in secrecy,
Right,
through this thing, and
right.
they were
Yeah,
all telling each other that they were talking, that I was talking, and it
right.
always got back. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It is. It's very. It's
I-
it's disgusting. It's disgusting, Peggy. It
It's
really is.
exhausting.
Yeah, and their lives is so
But I'll
common
never
with.
give up. I will
Yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah. I just want to talk to you tomorrow of certain ways you can
Okay,
handle this situation with your son right now,
please,
and
please.
really honestly consider. Hopefully, he's adult enough to listen to you.
I hope so now. He's seen.
Yeah,
He's been through it.
I hope so. And
Me too.
I think tomorrow just text me and like I said, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I would love that
Yeah. Okay.
because I'm very nervous.
I know you are. And I want you back on my show again, actually. I really enjoyed this one a lot
Well, thank you. I'm
because
I'm very I'm very happy that I found you last week.
some people, I have a person that follows me on the show. He sent me a message today. He's a sweetheart. He said, Miss G, you have such a fiery spirit.
Yes,
And he said it's like the way you convict them is so done great in a great way that he enjoys watching my show.
it
And
is. It is. It's good.
I love that guy. And I speak from the heart though, Peggy. I speak from
And
the
you
heart
know that. I feel
and I
that.
don't sugarcoat and I don't care who's watching.
That's what I
Because
like.
yeah, I really don't care who's watching because if the senator is watching me right now,
Oh,
I will tell the senator you're a scumbag. Literally. If you know all this is going on and you
you
don't
have
want to
that
do anything
power,
about it,
right?
you have
Right.
to be a scumbag.
Because they
You
have
have
they
to.
they're yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Frustrating.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. It is. And all these people, they side with each other because of a vote. A vote.
Mhm.
A vote.
I've learned so much in these few years. I can't tell
Yeah,
you. I mean, I wish I could. Hopefully, someday I can help someone. It's so
you will.
scary.
God is going to use you in a way where you are a voice for somebody who's weaker, who is in the same situation as you. We as people, we don't understand that sometimes we have to face trials and tribulation in our lives
Yeah.
and to make us stronger,
Mhm.
this is very important
Mhm.
because if we don't, God chooses his best soldier for the battle.
Right.
And that's what you guys need to keep in mind. It looks bad now, but there's a greater message for you because God uses us to spread his message at all
Right.
times.
That's why I
Okay.
have to say I have to be
Yeah.
going through this for something.
Yeah. For something big.
Yeah, for yes, to be able to help
Yes.
someone something.
Yes. That is
I'm not
correct.
going through this for nothing.
That is correct. I always think of the story Joseph in the Bible, always. And Joseph went through a lot of tribulation for how many years? Like 7 years. And he became the prince of Egypt.
Mhm.
His enemies became his footstool. And I
Right.
remember I was watching the movie with my mom a long time ago, and he said, compassion is more powerful than vengeance. And it's true.
Yep.
Passion is more powerful than vengeance. We shouldn't um, We shouldn't take matters in our own hand and get vengeance,
Right.
because
Right.
vengeance is God's. And that's the way I see life, because you're facing
Mhm.
the tribulation. You need to be stronger. Don't depend on drugs to numb the pain. Don't depend
Mhm.
on alcohol to numb the pain. The best thing to do in your life is to actually meditate. Meditate on music, like ocean. My
Right.
favorite, since I was a teenager, my favorite is ocean sound,
I like that.
because I grew up literally at the beach with my
Yeah.
parents. Ocean sound is what gives me peace. And you close your eyes and you take a deep breath from your stomach, and just close your eyes and meditate on
I need
something.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that will clear the clutter in your head, because oftentimes I talk to mothers and fathers and siblings, like older siblings, and they
Mhm.
tell me, Miss G, I never used to take drugs, and now I'm taking Xanax, or I'm smoking
Mhm.
to go to sleep, or I
Mhm.
can't sleep because I'm missing my kids. But
Right.
that's not how you handle it. You're
Right.
literally putting more power in their hands
Yes.
when you fall. The devil
They're
wants
gonna
us to
use it.
fall.
They're gonna
Yeah.
use it.
Do not allow yourself to fall or to break, because you're giving them power each time you
Mhm.
do. When you have something that is overpowering, taken over you, a substance takes over you.
Right.
You have no control over it, but it has control
Yes.
over you. You
Yes.
can't allow something to control you, because
Right.
if you allow something to control you, it means that you can't control your destiny.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah.
Remember that. It's who you are that you will create in your life. So don't do it. Substance is bad. I cannot emphasize enough.
Right.
Try to use your time to clear the clutter out of your head. Even though you're missing your children, I get it.
Mhm.
It's like taking the heart from your body out, literally stripping you a part of your soul. I get it. But you have to pull yourself together, because if you're not together and you're falling apart, the children don't
Exactly.
have anyone to come home to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who will
That's
be there?
very important. Very, very important. Know
Mhm.
who you are, and you tell your situation, right? Oftentimes
Mhm.
when we pray, we forget to tell the devil this, the enemy this. Let me tell you about my God. I'm not going to tell you about my problems, but let me tell you about who my God is.
Mhm.
That's how your mindset should be. Who is your God? Because God is the higher power. Oftentimes say God allowed this to happen. God gave us the free will to choose. It's not God that made us do it, right? We
Right.
did it, even when God sent us people to tell us not to do it. If God sends you people telling you, don't marry this one, not good for you, right? Your pastor tells you, your mom tells you, your grandma tells you, people, strangers tell you, and you end up marrying this person or have babies with this person, and then their true color comes out. Guess what? God didn't tell you to do it.
No.
You did it. Your choice. God
Mm-mm.
doesn't make us do anything we don't want to do. God gave us the
Oh, you
freedom
froze.
to choose. Period. So people that blame God, shame on you, because you're not taking accountability for your own actions.
Right.
How you got there to begin with. God didn't tell you to do drugs. God didn't tell you to drink your sorrow and
Right.
and drown yourself in alcohol. God didn't tell you to do none of that.
Mhm.
So pull it together. Don't give them power over you. You take the power from them, and you set yourself a goal to change yourself continually, to be better than yesterday. Every day, you should focus on bettering yourself than the day before.
Don't let them get to you.
And
They will
don't let
hurt
them
you.
control
Yeah.
you. Don't let them control you. God, no, I disagree with you on that. She said, but God will allow things to go forth to teach us lessons. God, we teach our own lessons. We teach ourselves lessons. God gave us the free will to choose.
Right. Right.
However, when you come to a point in your life and say, God, I forgive me, forgive me, Lord,
Mhm.
help me. And you start praying and you start changing yourself, your attitude, your way of life. God can turn this situation around
Yes. In a second.
to see better result for you. Yes, he can do that because there's no situation bigger than God. Nothing is bigger than our God. However, God doesn't just give us tests daily to destroy us. We create
No.
it in our lives. Again, God gave us the free will to choose. If you walk to the fire pit, you have a fire pit, right? You're walking towards the fire pit. You get 7 people stopping you from going forward. So you're not in the fire. And then you push them away. And then you
You
fall in
jump
the
in
fire.
anywhere.
And then you're going to tell God, why did you do this to me? No. Why did you allow it? No. Because he tried to save you. So he didn't do that. You did. That's what we do as humans. We fall short and then we ask God, why did you allow it? That's not fair either. That's not right. Because God is not going to slap you on the hand and say, hey, come to me.
Mhm.
Come to me now. Right? God wants you to go to him
Right.
freely. God wants you to love him with your own free will. Because what is the point of us going to God in the midst of our problems, right? What is the
Mhm.
point? Because we fear him. God doesn't want you to fear him, to be with him. God wants you to love him from your own, like the depth of your heart,
Yep.
mind, body, and soul, and everything. But not be with God because you're afraid of hell. That's not the life. That's not the kind of love that God seeks either. So be very mindful when you say you want to devote yourself to God. Devona said, I ask God questions, but don't question his authority. We can ask God questions, Devona. We ask God questions. I ask him questions. I'm like, God, I'm not sure what's going on, but what's happening here? Help me. Help me figure it out.
Right. Exactly.
Oftentimes, God sends you people to send a message. But sometimes people are so dingy, they get the message from God through somebody else, but they refuse to accept the message. And they fight the message and they doubt the message. And then when they hear the voice of the devil, they think that's God. No. There's two different types of um, exposure that we go through when we face trials and tribulation. One is giving you the right advice, the other one is giving you the wrong advice. If you don't have discernment to distinguish between the right and
Yeah.
the wrong, you're always going to fall in the wrong hand. But those who learn from their mistakes and others' mistakes are the ones that grow. You cannot be a child forever.
Mhm.
You can't. You have to grow and you have to be wise and you have to learn because that's how wisdom starts. Wisdom begins from learning from your mistakes. That's wisdom.
Yep.
When you repeat the same mistake over and over again, that's called foolishness. You don't want to be foolish, you want to be wise. So people oftentimes say, God, I pray for the lottery, I pray for this. Well, why don't you pray for wisdom? Why don't you pray for discernment and let God give you everything else that follows?
Mhm.
But learn to be humble, learn to be wanting to learn to humble yourself in front of God. Who are we? We are nothing. We're literally nothing. When our life ends, we become dust. No matter how much money you have, you're not taking shit with you. You're not grabbing a U-Haul and saying, here I am. Like a rich husband told a woman,
Right.
his wife, when I die, I want you to bury me with all my money.
I heard that.
Yeah, you heard that? And she
Yeah.
said, okay, no problem. When he died, she wrote a check of the balance he has in his account. and she put it in the coffin. There goes your money, right? But he's not cashing a damn dime
Right.
because you're dead. But oftentimes I see people so concerned about their money. I can't process that. There's a couple of people, Peggy, that I spoke with last week. One lady said, I bought a Jeep in cash. She bought a Jeep cash. When her kids were removed from her, she needed the retainer to get an attorney. I said, when did you buy your Jeep? She said, a few days ago. I said, but you need an attorney right now. She said, heck no. I'm not
What?
going to get rid of my, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of my Jeep. I want your attorney to help me pro bono.
Oh,
I said to her, and that's a true story. Everyone that knows me knows I speak my mind. I said to her, I said, sweetheart, I said, go look for another attorney. I said, good luck finding a pro bono attorney. Because how dare you say,
even say that.
yeah, how could you say something like that to me?
I would give everything that I have if I can
Exactly.
get the kids back.
Exactly. But people, they say the darnest thing. And that's the kind of, see, people don't learn from their mistake. They think money is everything. And they want freebie to help them. When you get your court appointed attorney, that's free. Where did you get with him or her? Absolutely nowhere. So you get what you pay for. And I asked her, I said, would you go to work and tell your boss I'm going to work for free? And she said, hell no. It's exactly what she said. Hell no. I said, then how do you expect an attorney to survive if every case he takes
Right.
is pro bono? And she said, well, that's not my problem. I said, well, it's not my problem either.
Right.
Please go look for another attorney. I said, in fact, make sure they are juvenile dependency attorneys.
I can't believe she said that.
She did. She actually did. And it hurt my heart, but honestly, at the same time, I realized not everybody deserve help. You know why? You have to help yourself. You can't see a value of a vehicle more important than the value of your child.
Oh, God.
No,
I'd rather walk.
exactly. We have a client that actually sold everything he had and lived with his brother for
Mhm.
a year and 6 months until he got his kids back.
That is a good man.
And then he built himself up again, and now he has his own house. He has his children. He has two new cars. One of them is a Porsche. So
See,
God blessed him. People
yes.
can understand when you
People,
humble yourself, right? When you humble yourself, God will
hmm
open doors that were shut for you.
Yes.
Speak positive in your life. Speak what you want to happen in your life. And he did. He spoke about it. He didn't act like his kids are gone. He would every day lived as his kids were with him. And
hmm
he spoke it to existence in his life.
Like it was now.
Now it was now. He
hmm
told me I will never speak, that I would never say my kids are not with me. When I used to talk to him, he said, Georgette, don't ever say the kids are in a foster home. The kids are with
Mm,
me. And I said, you know what? You're right. The
I
kids are with me.
understand that.
And he
Mhm.
kept saying that for a year and 6 months, even when the worker made his life hell. Remember
Mhm.
that the devil will attack you, attack you, attack you because
Yeah.
he wants to cripple you.
hmm
But when you stand firm and you tell the devil who your God is, and you speak life into your to speak life into your in your existing chaotic world,
Yes.
the devil will flee from you. He literally will give up on you and move on to the next victim.
I always say they're coming home.
Yeah.
They're coming
Always
home.
speak positive.
hmm
Always speak
They'll be
positive
home
about
soon.
your life. Yeah.
That's what I say. They'll be home soon.
Yeah. Very, very important.
hmm
God, like Devona said, God works in mysterious ways, and know that everything happens for a reason and a
Yes.
season. God, God ultimately, when we realize what we've done and we stick with God, God will turn our situation around.
He can do it in a
Remember that.
second, no matter what's
Remember
going
that.
on.
No matter what's going on, God will turn the
I
situation
believe
around.
that. Yes.
Yeah. And that's very important for people to understand. If you don't have a higher power, I don't know what to tell you. My higher power is always been Christ. Always.
Mhm.
No matter what happens in my life, God is number one. He will always be number one. And my kids are my heart because they are a gift from God. They are a gift from Him. So, people, you need to understand that pray, believe,
Yes.
have faith. Have faith. Our faith is so weakened that in
Hmm.
the midst of our
Yes.
tribulation, we forget. We forget who we are. Who are we? We are the children of the Most High for the love of God. We are the children of the
Hmm.
Most High, the one that has authority to throw people in hell. We are His children.
Right.
But God wants us to be stronger than this. And that's all I have to say. We actually went on too long. I'm sorry. It's an hour and
Oh,
35 minutes. I'm sorry.
oh.
Vicky. I know. I just
No, I
realized
love it. I
that.
love it.
I'm sorry. When I
I
start
didn't
talking,
even
I thought
realize.
I lose myself. I'm so sorry.
I
But
love it.
God bless you guys. Peggy, I want to speak with you tomorrow. And please
God
come back
bless
on
you.
my show again. I
I
really
will.
want my show again. I love you
I would love
guys.
to.
Yes, I want you back on my show. I want to talk to you about it tomorrow.
Okay. Thank
Um,
you.
I love
Okay.
all of you guys. Carissa, Devona, Michael, I mean, Aisha, all of you guys. God bless you, and may God strengthen you. And I know the holidays are really hard, really hard.
Yeah.
And I understand. So please keep your strength up and keep yourself prayed up and keep yourself stronger. Get away from anything that will control you. Remember, you need to control your destiny. Don't have anything controlling you other than God. All right. Thank you guys, and thank you, Peggy, again
Thank you. I appreciate it.
for joining me today and for sharing your story. And we are going to definitely be going to talk soon. Okay.
Good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye bye. Kids are not safe in child protective services, and they won't give them back to their loving families because they're making money.
This is a legal system that you're going into. And if you don't know the rules, you will be chewed up and spit out.
If I could say anything to a mother who just got their children detained, you're in a crisis. Life feels like it's over. The most important thing is regaining custody of your children.
The child welfare system at its core is designed to protect children who need protection. Okay, and that's key, is who need protection.
So social workers, out of fear, will remove more children rather than only remove those children that truly need to be removed.
It's okay. It's okay.
This isn't someone stole your car. Someone broke into your house. This is someone took your child, your flesh and blood.
It doesn't say on this order that it was not proven. It says untrue. I immediately knew that, okay, well, this ain't over.
Were there signs there? Were there no signs? Did I miss them? Did I catch them? At this point, I honestly don't know.
Families only get a finite amount of time to reunify.
I came into this field to help families, not destroy them.
The difference between the criminal system and the child welfare system is substantial. You have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent.